Welcome back, it's JWalter here, and here's your latest housing market update. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing an update from Redfin because Redfin just announced yesterday that home buyer demand is softening further, and this is being triggered by surging mortgage rates and high housing costs. That's the topic of today's video. I'm going to be sharing all the latest trends with you guys so you can make a more informed decision about whether you should buy or sell a house. Also, if you get any value out of this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's begin today's video. This was just announced yesterday at the time of this video. They said Redfin's home buyer demand index fell for the first time since June. I'm going to be sharing exactly what that is. Also, the share of home sellers dropping their asking prices was the highest in the last 5 months. So home buyer demand is softening further over the last several weeks as a typical slump in buying and selling over the Easter and Passover weekend amplified a recent slowdown triggered by surging mortgage rates and housing costs. So we're basically saying here is that we're seeing a slowdown due to sky high mortgage rates, and of course that's causing housing costs to increase as well. But during this time of the year, we typically see a slowdown, at least for the week for Easter and Passover. However, here's a key word though. It says amplified. So these holidays here amplified a recent slowdown. It doesn't say that was the reason why this slowdown occurred. It's basically saying that we're seeing a slowdown, but it was amplified by this holiday season here. In any case, let's continue here. Roughly 1 in 8 sellers cut their listing prices during the 4 weeks ending April 17th. That was the highest share in the last 5 months, and asking prices are also decreasing slightly as well. In addition to this, we're seeing fewer people submitting loan applications for home purchases. Also, we're seeing fewer online searches for quote-unquote homes for sale. In regards to people submitting fewer loan applications to buy a house, this is the most recent data we have from the Mortgage Bankers Association. I'm not going to be going over this whole report because I made a separate video about it. But overall, we're seeing fewer people submitting loan applications. That decreased by 2% compared to the previous week, and also down by 14% from the same week 1 year ago. So this is interesting because typically during this time of year, which is the end of April, we tend to see a lot more activity, a lot more home buyer activity, a lot more home showings, a lot more people submitting applications for loans because we typically see an uptick in our housing market in the spring months. However, we're not seeing that. We're actually seeing just the opposite because we're seeing some decreases in home showings and also mortgage applications as well. And the Mortgage Bankers Association said this: home purchase activity has been volatile in recent weeks and has yet to see the typical, keyword there, typical pickup for this time of the year. So when Redfin states we're seeing fewer people searching for the search term homes for sale, you can actually go to Google Trends to take a look at this. So I actually went to Google Trends and just typed in homes for sale in the US for the past 12 months for a web search. You can look at YouTube, other image searches, but just over a web search, people going on to Google and searching homes for sale over the past 12 months. So this is the interest over time. I really wish they would tell you how many searches there were in every given day or every single week over the past 12 months, but this is basically interest over time. So as you can see here, the interest for people searching for homes for sale basically peaked 1 year ago. So back in May through basically July of last year, that was at the highest levels in the past 12 months. However, what we're seeing right now is that decrease all the way until December. However, they're saying here that we're seeing fewer online searches for houses for sale. Overall, yes. When you look at the most recent week that we have right now for Google Trends, the interest for people searching for homes for sale is actually less than compared to 1 year ago. So the range right now is at 94 compared to 1 year ago is at 100. So compared to 1 year ago, we're seeing fewer home searches. However, it's important to note though, I want to be completely transparent with you guys, that ever since basically the middle of December, we're starting to see this increase in that trend though. So we'll have to see if this continues to increase or decrease. I'll definitely keep you posted because this could be an early sign that if fewer people are searching for homes for sale, maybe one could assume that there will be less home buyer demand. In contrast, if more and more people search for homes for sale, it could mean that home buyer demand still remains elevated. In any case, let's go back to Redfin's report because there's some additional alarming trends that I want to go over as well. So it says more buyers have moved to the sidelines because of historical high home prices. And of course, mortgage rates have jumped greatly as well. The latest stats we have for mortgage rates right now, mortgage rates are in the range of 5.4% to 5.6% on average for people with exceptional credit. And meanwhile, the median sold price in the US is up 17% year over year. So home prices reach another all-time record high of $393,000 as mortgage rates are now at the highest level since April 2010. They're saying that mortgage rates jumped to 5% or past 5%. Now we're at the highest level since at least 2010, which is pretty remarkable. Over a 10-year high. And that's sending the typical home buyer's monthly mortgage payment up 38% compared to a year ago. And that is another all-time record high of $2,318. Still, some measures of competition, including the share of houses that sold above their asking price and the share selling in 1 week, continue to hit new records. However, these are lagging indicators. When we're talking about stats for homes that actually have sold already, that's really an indication of what our housing market was 1 month ago. And as you guys know, mortgage rates, of course, were less 1 month ago compared to now. So Redfin's chief economist, Daryl Fairweather, had this to say: the lull in home buying and selling activity that we saw over Easter and Passover is likely to continue well past the holiday weekend. The forces causing many home buyers to pump the brakes are still in place, increasing mortgage rates and record high home prices. We expect price increases to slow and buyers in bidding wars to face fewer competing offers. So basically saying that we're going to be seeing potentially fewer price increases for houses out there, and also buyers looking to buy a house right now may face fewer other home buyers also interested in the same house you are compared to 1 year ago. However, she said that substantial relief for home buyers is unfortunately still well beyond the horizon, since the housing market is still tilted further in sellers' favor than at any time in history. So let's first talk about home prices, because Redfin is reporting all-time record high home prices. And also, according to the National Association of Realtors on Uncle Fred's website, the all-time record highs were also set for the US as well, according to the National Association of Realtors. For March 2022, we reached all-time record highs for existing home sales in the US at $375,300. Meanwhile, the previous record high was actually set in June of 2021 at just under 363,000. So again, these are lagging indicators when we're talking about home sold prices. So we're talking about houses that sold in March. That's really people who locked in lower mortgage rates back in February. So in regards to housing inventory, here's the latest stats we have for you. Again, this is on Uncle Fred's website. The source here is Realtor.com. Anytime you look at Fred's website, the source is already at the bottom of the graph here. So anyways, this is according to Realtor.com. Total housing inventory. Again, housing inventory is a total number of active houses available for sale. Houses that are for sale in the US. So for March 2022, there were only 382,000 houses available for sale in the US, which is just mind-blowing, because when you look at March 2020, we had just over 1 million houses. So basically in the span of 2 years, housing inventory decreased approximately 60%. This is a big issue, because if we want to see home prices decrease and for home buyers to have more of an advantage over home sellers, we need a lot more houses to be available for sale. I mean, look at March 2019. We had 1.2 million houses available for sale. In March 2018, there was also just under 1.2 million. And basically in March 2017, we had over 1.2 million houses for sale compared to 381,000 houses. So in other words, going back to Redfin's report here, their chief economist saying we're not going to be seeing a big relief for home buyers until we have more houses listed for sale. I strongly agree with that, because when we look at these historical trends here, we need a lot more houses available for sale in order to cool off this housing market here. In any case, let's go on and read on to this report here. Here's some more leading indicators of home buyer activity. So as we saw there, fewer people are searching for houses for sale on Google, down 8% compared to 1 year ago. In addition, Redfin has what's called a home buyer demand index. That's a measure of requests of home tours and other home buying services from Redfin agents. That fell 4% year over year during the week ending April 17th. That's the first annual decline since June of last year. It dropped 13% in the past 4 weeks alone, compared with a 4% decrease the same time period 1 year ago. So 1 year ago, again, their index, which is again a measure of requests for home tours for Redfin agents, that decreased 1 year ago, that decreased 4%. Fast forward this year, that has decreased 13%. So a big decrease compared to 1 year ago. On top of this, we're seeing fewer home buyers going on tours to buy houses right now. So this is the latest trends we have from showingtime.com. This is a report I share basically on a weekly basis with you guys. So here are weekly showings, and this is normalized to the first calendar week of January of each of these years here. And this data goes through yesterday at the time of this video, which is April 21st here. So anyways, look at the stats here. So this top line here is 2021. The red line here is 2022. The bottom line here, let's just ignore that, but it's 2020. So they look at the change in home showings compared to the first week of the year. So compared to the first week of the year in 2022, we have an increase in home showings by 11.8%. However, when we look at 2021 compared to the first week of 2021, at this time last year, we had an increase of 47.7%. Again, these are real estate agent showings in North America, according to ShowingTime, which is a service that people use, or real estate agents use, in order to show houses across the United States. So anyways, compared to the first week of 2022, home showings have only increased by 11.8% as of April 21st. However, compared to 1 year ago, we had a 47.7% increase. So far less compared to last year, which shows that home buyer demand is not as strong as it was 1 year ago. Other leading indicators of home buyer activity, of course, is because of mortgage applications decreasing by 14% compared to 1 year ago, as I showed with the Mortgage Bankers Association. Also, for the week ending April 21st, the 30-year mortgage rate rose to 5.11%, and that's for the week, the highest level since April 2010. And right now, according to the Mortgage News Daily, the average 30-year rate is actually at 5.39% as of April 22nd. So if you're looking to buy a house, obviously these trends are a step in the right direction. However, we have a long ways to go because we have record low housing inventory, and also we're still seeing multiple offers in many markets across the United States. However, Redfin had this to say, because I thought this is really on point, because they say while sellers still have the upper hand, meaning that's still a strong seller's market on average across the United States, because we still need a lot more houses listed for sale, because we still have far more home buyers than home sellers, but buyers are beginning to wield a bit more power. Finally, it says buyers are becoming more discerning. They're less willing to overpay because now they're only facing 3 to 4 competitive offers instead of dozens of offers. So comment below with what you're seeing in your neck of the woods. Also, if you want a real estate agent referral, whether you're looking to buy or sell a house, then check out that link below, homeandmoney.com/Jason, to get connected with a great real estate agent in your neck of the woods. If you got any value out of this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Also, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Hope you have an awesome day and look forward to seeing you on the next video.